everyone, and thank you so much for coming back and joining me on my YouTube channel, Supreme Comics Girl. So I am really happy tonight to be coming on and talking about season 3 of Cobra Kai on Netflix. Now, I have of course watched all 3 seasons, but if I had to choose, my favourite would be season 1, but it is a hard pick between season 1 and season 2, but season 1 is my favourite. I would say that this season, although I loved it and I really enjoyed it a lot, I think it was my least favourite. Like, I would say it would be season 1, season 2, season 3. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like this season the least, but that's not to say that I didn't like it. I really enjoyed it. So that's what I'm going to be talking about this evening. So, of course, we ended up real brutal ending season 2 of the whole big massive fight in the school. And, of course, Robbie, it ended where Robbie kicked Miguel off the railings, and he fell and hit his back into the railings, and he ended up in hospital. So this episode heavily focused on, you know, him being in a coma, you know, him getting out of the coma, and then, you know, him, you know, Johnny was trying his best, you know, like, to get him to walk, you know, like, come on, you know, and he even like dangled down like a Playboy magazine when he was on his wheelchair, and he's like, come on, you can do this, you can do this. So I don't know, I just kind of felt like it was more slow paced this season, but what I did love is that there was a lot of original characters that came back. I mean, we had Ali come back at the end, towards the end. It's like a Christmas episode. She came back for the holidays, and that was really funny because first of all, I want to say Johnny, who finally they both got in contact on Facebook. Hilarious, because he hadn't a clue about technology or what Facebook even was or what Wi-Fi even was or anything like that, and he called hashtags hash browns. He's like, if you're going to put that video on, you call it hash brown Cobra Kai. I know that was like season 2 or whatever, season 1, but anyhow, I thought that was really funny. And then them two eventually met up for lunch, and then she went to the party with Johnny, and of course Daniel was there, and it was like just the whole like high school drama thing again, like them competing against each other. She was like, oh my gosh, do you used to still fight? Do you used to still get on like this? And what I absolutely loved, and this is the thing that I love the most about this show, because this is how you pay respect and honor to having real homage, okay, to what was there before. So like the Karate Kid Part 2, you know, all 3 of the movies, they massively pay attention to it, but they do it in a real natural way and kind of blend it in. Like, for example, here's a big one. Ali walks over to Daniel, and she goes, Daniel with an L, and that's exactly what she said to him in Karate Kid. And I can even remember the song that was playing, and they played it in season 1, or no, not season 1, season 2 of this show, Cobra Kai. Cruel summer, they played that. And in the first movie, that song's playing, and Daniel's on his bike, and then he goes to school, and she's there outside, it's like football or whatever, and she goes, hey, what's your name or whatever, and he says Daniel with an L. So like, even literally lines out of the movie. And then even things like, you know, the drum, the Okinawan hand drum that Daniel got from the second film. I don't know, I just think it's amazing how much homage that they pay to you know, the original movies. And also the music, you know, they play a lot of music that was in the 3 films, but also what they do is they also put in real cool retro songs and like retro sort of like movie references. Like Johnny was saying to Daniel when he was on the phone to his wife, yeah, like, we're like Tango and Cash when they were looking for Robbie. Tango and Cash. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that movie. It's an 80s movie. If you haven't seen Tango and Cash, it's a funny comedy movie. You should watch it. But obviously we ended up with that crazy fight at the end of season 2, and then obviously they still have this whole big rivalry, but I just kind of feel like it went on for too long, you know, like it was a bit much, you know, how much they were going back and forth and fighting with each other, you know, Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, and, you know, turning up everywhere. And then, you know, I just thought it was a bit draggy in at times, but that's not to say that I didn't enjoy this season, because I really did. And I just kind of felt like the whole like thing with Miguel in the hospital and everything was just very prolonged, you know. That's just my own personal opinion. And now basically Robbie has went to John Cleese, which is Cobra Kai, which is really bad news, and I don't like that. I don't want that. I want Robbie to be Miyagi-Do. So Johnny went ahead and made his own karate club called Eagle Fang Karate, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. An eagle with fangs. And he had them with standing with the t-shirts and all. He told them to put the t-shirts and all on. It was hilarious. And of course he obviously had to do this because the evil John Cleese had freaking well taken over Cobra Kai. Just teaching them in a freaking park somewhere outside. That was hilarious. And yeah, I thought that was funny, them putting on the t-shirts and everything. And so now obviously at the end of this, we had this another crazy fight, which I thought was a bit much. Like, there's just so many just too many with the kids. The huge fight at the end. So I mean, you had like 3 different karate clubs, but then at the end Cobra Kai turn up at Daniel LaRusso's house and completely trash it. Like, oh my gosh, no wonder he was so freaking angry, and basically trashed the place. And what I liked was Hawk actually was looking around him and he realised, like, do you know what am I doing? This is wrong. And he was like hearing different voices in his head of like what the different senseis was telling him and everything. He was like, this is wrong. And I thought it was so sad, like the way people were going around and like kicking the crap out of Miguel, and now you're just like, you do remember that this guy was hospitalized and he was in a coma? I thought that was a bit much, like, but that's just my personal opinion. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. He's only out of hospital. But anyways, then they decided, look, he went over and he apologized, and he was on their side then, and he was, you know, kicking the crap out of, you know, what he was in, Cobra Kai, basically. But then what happens is actually then go over to Miyagi-Do. They're just going to be Miyagi-Do. So it ends up that it's actually, and I think it's a really lovely ending. You get to see Johnny and Daniel both standing side by side and, you know, bowing to one another at Miyagi-Do. And they're all outside and, you know, they're about to start training. And that's pretty much how it ends. So, but there is going to be a tournament. There's going to be a tournament between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai. So that is going to be super interesting. One thing I didn't like was, oh, what's her name again? It's totally went out of my head. You know, the bad bitch that beat the crap out of Samantha. Is it Tori? I can't remember her name anyways. But I'll be honest, I can't take to her. I haven't been able to take to her from the beginning. Now, one thing I will, so I hope that Samantha actually gets to be the one that beats the crap out of her and wins in the tournament. But I don't think, like, I mean, I don't understand how, like, Miguel, like, would he be able to fight in season 4 because of, you know, just not being long at a hospital? I don't know what way that's going to work for season 4. I don't know how much time will have passed or when season 4 is coming out. I think it's coming out pretty soon. I don't know about over here if it's different for Netflix, but that's what I hope. I hope Samantha gets to beat the living crap out of her, you know, the one that was going with Miguel after she had went out with him. And her and Miguel are pretty much back together now. But I feel bad for Robbie because I really liked Robbie. And I don't want Robbie being on Cobra Kai. I want Robbie to be in Miyagi-Do. So I hope that he finally somehow gets to see how bad of a person John Cleese is. But what's super interesting, I thought, was that we actually got to see why John Cleese is so gosh darn evil and so gosh darn horrible, because it shows us back to when he was a veteran and him being trained. And there was actually a point in his life when he was a veteran, his captain was doing a fight off with him, and below them was this big massive snake pit, and I mean there was hundreds upon freaking snakes in it. And he kicked him off, and before he kicked him down, his captain, he went, no mercy. But like he was actually like a nice person beforehand, and then he was, you know, bullied, and then he ended up getting into, you know, becoming a veterinarian, and, you know, showing you him being trained and everything. And I think that it was good to show those flashbacks to show why he is such a demonic person. But I knew from the moment that he entered this show, I don't care how cutesy he wants to come across, I don't care what nonsense he's going to try and tell Johnny, he is bad news. He is bad news. And even when, like, for a split moment, I was like, maybe. And I was like, no, heck to freaking well no. This guy he's a snake. He's a dirty snake. He's a heck to freaking well dirty snake. So no matter what comes out of his mouth, he's bad news. And I knew that there would become a moment from the very get-go, from he entered the show, that he was playing along the whole time, and that he just is rotten to the core. And look what he done. He took over Cobra Kai, what Johnny was teaching and paying the rent for, and he literally just took that over. So I thought that was just, he's just pure evil. But that's what's good about him, like, and he doesn't really look that much older. And you know what I want to say, like, even Daniel LaRusso, like, literally just looks exactly the same, and all his mannerisms and all, you know, the way he gets on and everything, and like, it looks like he hasn't aged. It's insane. It is insane. Yet we are many decades after the movies, honestly. It's kind of hard for me to say if anybody was interested in my favorite Karate Kid movie. It's hard to say. Probably the first one. But yeah, I absolutely love how nostalgic this show has been. Hats off, seriously. I mean, he even went to Okinawa. Daniel went to Okinawa, and although when he went there, it had totally changed. You know, obviously because he had met, you know, the girl that he, you know, this is his second love, you would say, in Karate Kid 2. And he also met Chozen as well, who was obviously his rivalry, his villain. And then he got to find out that there was more secrets to Miyagi-Do, and he actually gave that to him as a gift, because there was little things that, you know, Miyagi just didn't teach him, maybe because he was trying to protect him or whatever. And I found that super interesting, and I find this a very emotional show. I feel that I would not recommend this show to anyone who has not seen the Karate Kid movies, because you will not feel that emotion, you will not feel that connection. And there's certain times I just know what's coming up, like it's the end of season 1 when he goes to Robbie, don't worry about your shoulder, and he goes, whew. And I was waiting on him doing what Miyagi done, like healed him, and like, medic. It's hilarious. Oh, and there's just moments, and you just know, you're like, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. You know straight away, because I've seen the movies that many times, that you know that all these moments are coming up. But I love that, because they do it in a natural way. It's not forced, and then they show you the original footage from the movie. I absolutely love this show. But I will say, as I say, I didn't enjoy this season as much as the first two. So we ended off where as I say, Johnny and Daniel are training Miyagi-Do, and together, they're doing it together against John Kreese for Cobra Kai. And I really hope that Robbie sort of eventually will listen to his dad and will listen to Daniel, because I feel really sorry for Daniel, because he really was trying so hard for him. And I'm really glad that Hawk has changed, because he became too nasty. He became too nasty for being such a wee nerd, and he was being so mean to his friend. I was like, no, I want him to become nice. So when he became nice, I was like, yes, Hawks became nice. So yes, I would say my favorite character in this show would actually be Daniel, and my second favorite would be Robbie. So Daniel and Robbie are my two favorites. Robbie is, of course, Johnny's son. So yeah, they're my two favorite characters. I love those two characters, Daniel LaRusso and Robbie. They're my two favorites. So I really hope, as him being my second favorite character, that Robbie will change, in the sense of he'll change from Cobra Kai to Miyagi-Do. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. But anyways, that is my my review, my spoiler review, and I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.